All right, they see us now. Let's do that. What up, y'all?
See us.
Let's go, Juice. And then you want to hop up here because you're a attention whore. There he is.
Sweet baby.
Yep. He's kind of stupid, but had him for a full year as of this last weekend.
Hell yeah.
1 year of this.
Oh yeah, old Feist. Has he gone on any other adventures as of late?
No, I should have brought him to school yesterday. We had just SAT testing and I dropped by my house. I thought about like literally as I got back, I was like, I should just brought the cat, but no.
Would have helped with morale.
Yeah, and he'll experience the world. Where's Big Papa Pump Gore? I think Gore's taking a break from the podcast for a little bit. Spam him with I don't know, what word should you spam in his chat?
Good question.
Just spam him.
Just fill his every comment on his every video of his with hell yeah until he comes back.
Yeah. He's gonna take a break for a bit. He made it to 199 and he came too quick.
Well, what it is he realized that I still needed to get caught up on episodes to get to my 200th technically.
Oh, okay.
So he's giving me a chance to get caught up.
Okay. Actually, Gore quit Blue Rupees. He's reviving the Gorecast.
This is where he's gonna reveal his OnlyFans.
The OnlyFans competition was just too much. Let me do audio check. Yo, check. What up? Check. Talk. Hello. I still have that popping, which is really fucking annoying. I have no idea what the fuck that is. All right, buddy. I know you really want to hang out. I get it. We'll hang out soon. I gotta figure out this popping issue. We'll hang out in the chat for a bit, though. What's up, chat?
Hell yeah, chat. I'm gonna do something. I feel like this would make more visual sense if it was put over a little bit.
Just toss it.
Frame a bit better. Now I can be a little bit more censored and still have it visible.
Hey, doesn't sound like the crackling on your end.
What?
It doesn't sound like there's crackling on your end when I talk in the mic. Listen to how I listen, and then go to the YouTube and check the audio real quick.
But no, you don't sound like you're crackling to me.
Man, what is?
Keep talking.
Talk.
No.
It's not bad. You can only hear when getting loud. Okay, I know it's not the worst. It kind of bugs me. Eventually, I'll figure this out.
Yeah, I'm not hearing the crackling at all.
Okay, I can hear it. You kind of gotta have to listen out for it, at least on the audio, but it's fine. Let's get to it, David. Let's do this. Yeah. Welcome to the Blue Rupees Podcast, episode number 202. I'm Adrian. David's here. Gore's on hiatus, waiting for David to catch up, maybe. Then they can even out and have a nice celebratory 200 episode on Blue Rupees Kiss.
Make passionate love.
That's what people want.
It's true.
We're gonna go through. I think there's some news happened, but news happened. News happened this week, but we won't just randomly banter for a long time. Maybe we will. Who knows? Anything happen in your life lately?
Play your cards right. Huh?
Anything happen in your life lately that warrants bantering for?
Fiance had surgery Monday, but that's about it.
Did with it hopefully not intense surgery?
No, gallbladder.
Okay.
Well, I mean, technically intense. She had an organ ripped out of her, but
hell yeah, Mortal Kombat. Did you hear about Sunny V2?
Yeah, I saw that interesting little video.
Yeah.
That was a weird take.
You watched it? Or
Yeah.
I normally like Sunny V2. I think I like his editing style.
Agreed.
I watch his videos. I watched that video this morning and it was very off-putting and weird, and I wasn't sure if that was a me thing. Watch Gore's reaction. Gore kind of was a little skittish, but it's hard to tell on Gore, and Gore's kind of neutral on a lot of things. And so I looked online and he got fucking roasted.
Yeah, it was kind of one of those weird things where, kind of like Chris, because I watched Chris's reaction when it got posted. Kind of like Chris, I was expecting there to like be a shoe drop of something.
Oh, you didn't know this ahead of time? Yeah, right. Yeah, that's right.
No, because I don't fucking follow. It's like Chris, I don't follow any
Yeah.
of that shit. I didn't fucking know. So I was listening. I'm like, where's the bad thing happening here? And the whole
It's a
video
literal
basically-
nightmare. It's described as a nightmare. Like, surely there's gonna be like something.
Yeah, the big end to Mr. Beast that'll finally happen is Mr. Beast's friend is in the midst of transitioning to reconcile themselves, and
Good for them.
that's going to be the nightmare for Mr. Beast.
It was a lot of assuming, and I felt very bad. The ending was pretty shit. Which was it said
That was a wild jump in logic. Like, holy hell.
Sunny V2 goes, it was ridiculous for Chris to have to not consider the effect this would have on Mr. Beast. I'm like, yo, that's kind of wild.
I just, and honestly, you almost want to give the guy a little bit of a benefit of the doubt if you've seen a lot of his other videos, because the guy up till now has seemed to always try to kind of go like a middle road with a lot of things and present like facts on different sides. But at the end of the day, you kind of have to ask, whenever someone puts something out there in any medium, you kind of have to ask, what is the intent and who is the audience?
It's easier when it's yeah, no, it's easier when you're disconnected, right? When it's a bunch of stories about a bunch of dumbasses. Okay, yeah, they're dumbasses. Everyone kind of unilaterally across the board agrees, right? When it's something particular that you can have a pretty strong opinion on, I feel like many people are not very good at walking that line, and especially if you walk that line, really. I'm not trying to get too political, but walking a line is making a stance. There's no, you don't really like, you can't really make a gray area about it. Kel's in the chat. I've seen some other people bring up inconsistencies about Sunny today too. He has a video super positive about Keemstar and won over Ethan in H3, and it demonizes him big time and is pretty harsh. I've seen people go through and kind of bring up things from Sunny V2. You're never gonna get someone that's completely one-sided, right? Like, or completely unbiased, unless you're walking that line of just, hey, we can all laugh at this stupid person, right? Like, cool. But man, that ending was really fucking weird. Really weird. Like that was a weird start. That was the first thing I watched this morning. I was just kind of just putting on my commute, and I was like, what was this? This was kind of wild.
It really felt like he wanted to outright say that he was anti-trans and was trying to use like all these other like basically effectively anonymous mouthpieces to make that argument for him without just outright saying it. Because
Yeah,
I
dude.
feel like because I feel like that's the whole point of the video is this trans person is bad and is going to kill Mr. Beast, but if he kicks this person off the videos, then the army's gonna come out. But if he keeps this trans person around, then everyone's gonna suddenly abandon him. So there's only a negative way to view any of this. And also, my takeaway is, who fucking cares? A person is living their life. Like, that's
None of your business.
yeah.
They clearly said it's like Chris has been out there saying, hey, me and my wife broke up like a year ago. we're keeping it private. Which yeah, like that's it. The two comments, it was the ending where it's straight up like said Chris should have thought about Mr. Beast before. Like that's wild. You should think about your job with your friends before you do, like, fuck no. And then saying relating this to like how a lot of movies have an LGBTQ character.
Just for representation.
I'm like, this is a real person. This is a real person. I don't know. Let's see. Kelvin said this kind of feels like that phenomenon where people put out too much content, slowly too much of their personal beliefs bleed through, while trying to keep the veneer of being apolitical. Yeah. Naturally, the more you're on camera, especially like streamers, right? The more you're on camera, it's gonna slip, whether or not that's a site that everyone sees as good or bad. Some's gonna slip. You're gonna see everyone has that weird side of them, right? But that's gonna slip. So it was about time when they put out weekly videos and drama videos, right? Like you're kind of opening yourself as a target when you're pointing at everyone and picking at everyone. That the second you slip or make something a little weird, and this is a lot weird to be fair. I think I'm saying it's a little weird. It threw me off pretty bad. I think you open yourself up pretty blatantly to everyone. Yeah, I don't know. That was just something I thought I saw kind of roll around. It's still trending on Twitter right now too.
It'll be curious to see what is next, because how do you follow up this video?
I think
I almost,
if I was Sunny V2, I don't reply. I just make another video. I just keep making videos.
Move on to the next thing.
He doesn't have a presence really on the internet. Not really anything. He just makes videos. Does that? I think Sunny V2 just keeps going. I think they take a bit of a hit. Not even a big hit. I think they're gonna take a little bit of a dip in popularity, but not really. But that's about it. Kels, I personally was super surprised when Gore revealed his hidden piss drawer in his room during the last React video for Zelda. Yeah, that was jarring. Arguably worse than the Sunny V2 thing. You know, I trusted Gore not to have a piss drawer. David, you see John Wick 4 yet?
Hell yes.
All right, at Backy saw John Wick 4. Chat right now. Are we having to refrain from spoilers for John Wick 4? Can we talk about John Wick 4? Might give you guys a little bit to talk about that. But yeah, overall, weird video. I don't know how I feel about following him. I mean, politics side, I don't really. The videos are entertaining, but I think when it comes to like more, I don't know what to say. I'll watch like the whenever it's disconnected, whenever it's like a top 10, like, hey, rappers lost their money, I'll probably watch that because there's not gonna be a connection. But this, I might just avoid a lot of the content if it's.
And here's the thing, you with a lot of those videos, it's like a person was genuinely fucking dumb or made poor life choices. Person is trying to live life. Let's explain why that's a poor business decision for their friend.
Let's explain why I think it might be, which is weird. Atbacky says, "Hey, Big Dave, is the Atbacky spot still there?"
Hell yeah.
Is it still on your wall?
Yeah, it's still there.
You're never. It's not gonna get painted either.
Camera.
Yeah, that's not getting painted for potentially ever.
No, it's never being painted.
So literally,
I decide to change up the paint in this room again, it's never being repainted.
Atbacky, you got a spot there, literally, probably until David moves out. Cal said, "Do it." All right, we're spoiling John Wick 4. Big Dave, what'd you think?
Fucking phenomenal! Holy hell!
Yes, sir.
This is one of the only movie series I can think of where each movie consistently ramps up and equally feels just as fucking epic, if not more epic than what preceded it. Like,
progressive
every single
bangers
movie has been an absolute banger.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot. Did you know that I watch a lot of John Wick stuff? You know, John Wick was like this close to being a directed to DVD movie or direct to stream movie.
Really?
It was. Hollywood was shutting it down. Apparently, someone from when they made the movie and they were pitching it to people, someone from Fox literally got up 30 minutes in and just walked out. They weren't into it. then what else did I hear? The editor of the first movie was literally some girl that edited movies like soap operas and stuff like that, or like Lifetime movies, like just like the soap operas. Like she didn't had no realm in this, but she's actually a big influence on what happened, which is
Huh.
she cut out a lot of apparently around the first wave of films, or the first draft, and what they filmed was a lot of Keanu Reeves brooding. You know how the beginning is. That was like half an hour of brooding. It was like half an hour of brooding. It felt like, I mean, half the movie was almost brooding. She was like, "No, that's dumb. Cut it." So she cut a lot of it out, and then she cut down a lot of dialogue to keep him very like more stoic and to the point, which fits. That's the character now, right?
Yeah.
So she really led a lot of direction with there. But yeah, a lot of there was like this close to doing it, to the point where the director or the producer, I forget who, was like, "All right, fuck it. I just let's hope this movie just gets out there and no one knows about it, and I'll bank on Sicario being my hit." Sicario also, I hear, is really good. It's on my list,
Wild.
but it was this close to doing it, and then yeah, and it came out and people liked it, but it wasn't that cult hit. It was really two that everyone's like, "Oh shit, this is dope." Um, Kel says, not to get ahead of the convo, what do you think of the ending? Personally, I love the ambiguity to it. Reminds me of the end of Nolan's Batman or Inception. I love a good open ending that leaves the viewer to imagine what happens. Unfortunately, I feel like a lot of movies shy away from that, specifically because it's not really the move. They think they need to hold the hands of everyone. But um, I love that. I think I liked it a lot. I think it leaves a lot open to what could happen, and it leaves things open enough. Like, hey, maybe one day, but also don't need to.
I think it wrapped it up a little too nicely. The end credit scene aside, I think it wrapped it up a little too nicely. There's only really two major plot threads that are still really kind of in contention at that point,
Which are
and one which is covered in the end credit scene.
which, by the way, was filmed to completion, but they actually cut it down to make it ambiguous.
Hmm,
Originally, it
interesting.
was originally was they filmed the whole shot where he got killed.
Fascinating. All right,
Hmm.
so they're now actually leaving it up to potentially have more with that later.
Hmm. And then what was the other one?
And the other is with nobody. Because this is really a story of tritagonists in a sense.
Yeah, here's the thing. I love that dynamic, like having, I think it's three people like that triad kind of like duking out. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm still like a little like, I love that character and I love what they brought to it, but I just don't know if it fit perfectly.
I think what would have been really great for me, and I've talked about this with the fiance quite a bit, because this is an issue we both have with James Bond, is that James Bond should be a title, essentially.
Sure.
Where, part of the whole thing with James Bond films is we always get kind of a refresh to the series, but it would make the most logical sense to us if, not just 007 was like the moniker that's passed around, but James Bond is the moniker. And especially introducing a character called Nobody, and we have this whole world of, climbing up the ranks of assassins. That potentially could have been a fascinating world building moment where this is Nobody, but now he gets to go ahead and earn his title, and John Wick passes along, because John Wick obviously isn't his actual name. I can't remember his actual Russian name, but clearly it's what he adopted when he became an assassin. So I thought that would have been an interesting passing the torch kind of moment, where Nobody at the end became John Wick, and he is the next one to carry that title.
See, I like it, but I don't at the same time. I understand where you're going with it. I I don't know if this is kind of like where I want it to be though, right? Where I feel like it's now a legacy. Now it's like he's gone, but that was fucking wild. That dude was fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Oh, Baba Yaga is his nickname, because John Wick kind of translates
no, 'cause
over to where his name is. His name kind of
Yeah, he
translates
had like an
over.
actual name though. It was like, fuck,
It
it was Yardaviv or God.
it translates over to somewhat. But yeah, no, people do refer to him as the Baba Yaga.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's up, chat box? I love the ending. Myself as me wanted John Wick 5. I could have sworn I heard they were double featuring. Like I thought that they were filming for 2 movies. So I was like, no, there's no way. And then it did. Which I will say really quick because I want to read another comment. Sick ending. Sick ending. The way that rolled out. I was like, that was badass. Y'all got me. And you know that. We're gonna say. I want to cover more. Kel said, "Correct me if I'm wrong, but was nobody's incentive just to get the money for the nice house life for him and his dog? Like, I like his drive, but it felt like it didn't lead him further in the story." Yeah, that's what I felt. I felt like it was.
Well, that's what they kind of summarize with the German head of the table, is that one was trying to basically kill his way out, one was trying to buy his way out, and one was trying to, I can't remember what it was for Donnie Yen's character exactly.
Deal his way out or something like that, maybe, or something like that.
And so that was the kind of impression that they were giving, is that the money was explicitly to potentially buy a way out of the organization or some other means to be away from it. Because if it was just for money's sake, I feel like the movie would have been in theory a lot shorter, because he would have been fine with the 400,000 or whatever it ended up being in the beginning.
Yeah, they really should have added something to that, because he kind of went in that hand scene. Oh fuck, that's one of the fear few scenes I had to be like, no, I can't watch that.
And that's why it makes me. That's why I do agree. It's also weird if it was just about money, because that's an excessive dedication just to ensure he's getting some money when he could just wait for other hits that would be easier.
Plus, he had the money at some point. Like he kept just kind of denying or bouncing it around. Big shout outs. I love that dog scene. You knew, right? He had the gun up. And it was like, nah, something's gonna happen. Sure enough, dog comes first.
I was waiting the whole film for there to be like a moment where he's like, "Oh, maybe this John Wick guy isn't so bad." It's like, okay, here we go.
Yeah. The fucking stair scene getting kicked down. It's so fucking exhausting.
I had such a fucking weird audience experience with that. There was this elderly couple that was watching the film that was in the same row as me. And when he gets kicked down the first time, the old man was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
And it goes like it lasts comically long, dude.
It does. And that does lead to one thing I was a little sad about. There are basically 2 characters that get built up to be actual like fucking units that have the same level of inhuman durability that John Wick does. One is that German, which basically is the fucking Kingpin from goddamn Spider-Man at this point. And the other is the guy at the end, the Marquis' right-hand man. And I was kind of disappointed that we didn't get like an actual 3v1 brawl against the guy, because I felt like that's what it was kind of building to, and we kind of got it where we had Donnie Yen's character and John Wick kind of going head to head with him, and then we had the sniper support from nobody. But at the same time, like I was expecting like an actual 3-on-1 physical confrontation with him.
Here's the thing though, with that, is John Wick like kind of, it's not Fast and Furious. That's kind of what I'm trying to say. Ultimately, is like it builds up realistically enough to be like, here's what could happen. Let's crank it to 11 rather than what's the craziest thing we could ever do. Because it's progressively crazy, right? Like doing loops around I forget what you call it. What that thing in Europe is called?
The Arc de Triomphe.
Yeah, doing loops around there where no one cares. People dancing while there's fucking murder going on, right? Like ultimately, yeah, you gotta suspend. But we're not flying in space, right? Like it's still grounded enough where it's like John Wick gets fucked up. Should he be alive at that point? I mean, no, he jumped out of he's taking some hits. He looks fucking terrible at the end, but like he still probably shouldn't have got hit or he shouldn't have lived that. But I think that's what's cool about it is it gives it enough room to ante up realistically, right? Like you can you still got room to keep going. Um, I think it's more expendable rather than Fast and Furious. Yeah, I would say in terms of craziness, like there's a lot of dream things you want with John Wick that you can imagine. I like the idea of what they're doing though. Like they crank it up just enough, just enough. That's how I think the progressive. That's how we got really to our point where every movie is progressively better. Is like they crank it up. Don't have to do the most insane, bizarre shit ever. Crank it up though. Crank it up. Crank it up. And then at some point, like we can't have John Wick 7 because at that point it's Fast and Furious. We're gonna get to a point where it's like we crank it up so much we're doing like cyber battles in space or something like that. I think.
Because that's a good point. Because like as much as we joke about, oh man, next fucking movie they're going to space, and then the final movie is they're going to hell. Like at this point, you could actually see that in Fast and Furious.
Sure.
Like, but that would be kind of ridiculous with John Wick.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, but it's grounded ridiculousness. Favorite mini boss or fight scene from this one?
Man, that's hard.
I think the Osaka Continental was just nutty because like it felt exhausting. Not only that fight lasts forever, but the fact that he had to get creative to kill them because those masks.
Yeah.
Like he literally is like, I can't kill you, so I just kind of got like hold you over here while something's going on over here. Take care of that, then get. I don't know. It was like it was fucking tiring.
And the cinematography for it was fucking gorgeous, especially when we have the initial build up and then the lights go out and we just see all the archers sprawled across to kick things off. And just oh man, it was so fucking well shot with that. And I also like even just like in some of the other scenes with that with Donnie. I don't know why I can't think of his name right now. But Donnie Yen's character planting the kind of emotion sensors throughout and getting an idea of how he does fight without basically just being fucking Daredevil, in which case what's the point of him being blind? But I think honestly my favorite mini boss fight is got to be the German guy. Just straight up.
He just wouldn't stop.
No, he wouldn't. Like, cause that's why I kind of brought that up. So I'm like, he's genuinely one of the only other people that has had John's level of just won't fucking die. He is too angry to die.
Right.
And I just love the brutality we got from it.
God, that poker scene was just so good though. Like it was so tense and just like John's sitting in the middle and she's looking around like everyone wants me dead right now, man.
Although oh, that's right. And that was one thing that it was only me and one other person that audibly cracked up at it, though, when they're going ahead and they're flipping their cards over, and Donnie Yen's like, I don't know, what do I got, guys?
Yeah, no, you know what? I lied. I love the Osaka Continental scene. Don't get me wrong. The Hotline Miami scene.
Yes.
That's my favorite. I forgot.
So good. Such a phenomenal way to just get a different perspective, and yet at the same time just adds so much more tension because of it.
There's it felt obviously it got its inspiration from I think actually got from the China something. I forget the game that got it, but it's all derivative from Hotline Miami. But what the fuck was I gonna say? Fuck. Oh, Hong Kong Massacre. It reminded me of one of my favorite shots in El Camino. If you've watched that Breaking Bad
I still
movie.
haven't yet.
There's a shot where it's like over. It's kind of a time lapse of the whole of a whole apartment as people move around it, and I love those shots. Anything that's like different, which is like above, you don't see too many above. Because I feel like that's very hard to choreograph. I love seeing those. Let me go through a lot of these comments here. Man, when John Wick says, "Yeah, best thing ever," I love it, dude. I just love the way he says it. I'm going to need a gun. Color matching Osaka Hotel was gorgeous. I agree. John Wick is a franchise. Kel says, Abagi was saying that, by the way. Kel says, John Wick is a franchise that could do the opposite, I think. Rather than jumping forward and getting bigger, jumping back and going smaller, like old school Kung Fu cinema would be the play. And I agree. That's the cool thing I say. Dude, again, John Wick gets bigger, but then we're using fucking nunchucks, dude. Like, shit's sick.
Oh, and that was so fucking brutal. Like, goddamn, the headshots those guys were taking.
Yeah, Kel says, yeah, I screeched when the first shot of John by the cherry blossom came up. Dude, gorgeous. It just looks so good. Already pre that 4K for sure. Yeah, and like I said, I played Ghost of Tsushima too, so I love that. Kel said, I love the fight, the killer fight. Bunch of Sammo Hung influences there, played by Scott Adkins, one of my favorite martial artist actors. Yeah. Funniest moment, like I said, was when Donnie Yen said "f off" to the French guy. Chatbox, no Gordon night. No, Gord's taking a little bit of time off podcast. But all right, come back. Cool. He's come to say he's enjoyed John Wick. Such a fantastic franchise. This is one of those. Let's dock score, says that Becky. One of my. I usually don't. I'm not into the whole spin-off thing, but I'm okay with them closing the idea of John Wick down and just moving into like. I wanted to be in this world more. I want these people to make more movies of this and this world. It's so wild, the fucking lore behind this shit. Like you think about it, they sort of when they made the first one, which by the way, here's another fun fact. The movie was called Scorn originally, and Keanu Reeves hated that name. So every time he did interviews, he just called it John Wick. So he just went with John Wick. I agree. Good shit, Keanu. The movie originally, like, apparently the script had a lot of these plot points where like the lore that we have now was in the original script, but they just kind of like cut a lot of it or made it more vague. I just there was a point when shout out to Lance Reddick, by the way. That shit hurted.
That hurt.
But when they're walking through like just this, like almost like a catacomb style thing, I'm just thinking, I'm like, dude, this movie was originally like, you killed my dog and now I want you dead. And now it's just like, it's just so fucking much more, right? They made the lore more vague. No, I don't know. So the lore was on paper, but they cut out a lot of stuff in John Wick 1 just to keep it more concise, which I think was the move. But they've steadily expanded it more and more to where it's ridiculous right now, but it's been so steadily increased that it makes sense. That's what I think is the name. And I'm gonna go back to that real quick. They know the art of steadily increasing, and I think that was what one of the video essays I watched said too, was if you watch John Wick 4 and he was doing, or if you watch John Wick 1, he was doing what he was doing in 4, it's ridiculous, right? You're like, Jesus Christ, this is silly. But the fact that you've like built up and now you just believe everything he does, yeah. Everything is, yeah.
You believe that he's gotten to this point where he's so fucking done with it all.
Yeah.
That he's putting his heart into everything.
Dude. And I love it. I love that they brought that thing back from 3 where there's like, hey, whoever wants to kill him. And then he just looks up and everyone's like looking at him. All right. The only criticism I have is that for the first 10 minutes when he killed the elder, it felt like leftover from 3. I agree. I feel like that was probably something that could have been in 4 and could have been a ramification, or 3 and could have been a ramification of 4. But
I feel like it was probably there, if only just to like help refresh people's memories of kind of what set us off on track to a degree.
Sure. And I agree. I feel like it didn't fit too well. It looked cool though. Yeah, it felt weird. Like the only time they're in desert and on horses was that only scene, right? It felt out of place, but I'm in, dude. Like this is a 3-hour movie, isn't it?
Did not feel like it though.
Isn't it almost 3 hours?
Yeah, it is. It's like 3 hours, but it didn't feel like it at all.
No, but I was
Midsummer. I was definitely looking at the fucking clock every goddamn 10 minutes with that one, but
I was on a movie date and I had my watch. And my watch kind of tells you if your heartbeat is over or something at rest. And it was like during the stair shot or the stair fight, my watch gave me a notification, so I just leaned over and pointed at my watch and said, "Your heartbeat is really fast right now." I'm like, "This is fucking intense." I'm debating a rewatch. I definitely want to rewatch it. Like I'm
yeah. As soon as the 4K comes out.
Yeah, I might just wait. I don't have that much time right now. I'm kind of on crunch time for finishing things. Dude, you need to figure out what you need to do. Thank you. David just criticized Ari Aster film. Boo this man. I agree. In fact, if anything, you know what, David?
I don't think it was a masterpiece like
fuck
everyone
you.
thought it was.
I have the fucking director's cut. I still gotta watch. It's like 5 hours long.
I want to watch that too because I thought the original cut of the film was fine. Like it was serviceable. I didn't think it was revolutionary like everyone was spouting off it was. But
I'm gonna say something wild. I'm gonna say something wild. I liked it more than Hereditary.
I haven't seen Hereditary yet. Still.
Oh, you should watch Hereditary. No, you know what? Do you want to get fucked up?
Hell yeah.
Watch There's Something Wrong with the Johnsons. I think it was.
Yes, I've seen that.
Okay, that's fucked up.
Yeah, that's fucking heinous.
Is a wild introduction to Ari Aster. Midsummer is also wild though.
Midsummer is an amazing final 15 minutes with the most meandering build up to it.
I disagree, but I mean, I need to go for a rewatch, which I'm going to do soon. Speaking of horror, have you seen You're Next?
No, that's been on my to-do list.
I finally watched it the other day. It wasn't bad. I had a good time during it. I also got Megan, so I need to watch that. Kel said it's a horror film set during broad daylight. David doesn't understand cinema.
Old people being weird and then being thrown off rocks and then we're in a commune and it's just how we do things.
I mean, there's a lot to it, right? When you dissect that shit, there's a lot to it, and that's all of Ari Aster, right? It's very intentional. But in terms of like the things going on, I could totally see this not being your type of movie, regardless.
I still actually do want to watch the director's cut because I'm fascinated to see essentially the original intention for it.
I heard it was good too.
If it changed my mind.
I heard it was very good. What? Jesus. He's so
not
fucking
enough attention to him.
He's so fucking needy as soon as I walk in the door, dude. It's ridiculous.
He's orange. It's what they do.
Yeah, he wants to steal my brain cell. Meanwhile, Tess is hiding because she's like, I don't want to deal with him. You take him. You see the Mario movie yet?
No, that's probably next week.
It's a good time. Shoutouts to Bowser singing is finally getting viral, rightfully so.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Was there anything else in terms of movies I want to mention while I'm here or not? I've been hanging out with my coworker a lot. And I found out she has not seen The Room. So I'm like, all right, well,
I fucking watch The Room.
Yeah, so I'm like, I don't know when, but we're gonna watch The Room and Disaster Artist right afterwards. Like,
hell yeah.
Peak cinema. Bo is afraid. That's what I'm looking forward to. I'm super excited for that coming out soon. Abaki says, "What Dungeons and Dragons movie good? I have not seen it yet. I want to see it.
I have no intention of seeing it.
I might see that soon. I don't know what else is there. David, what did you get this week?
Hell yeah, I only got a couple things. Got Grim Grimoire, the remastered version there once more. Excited to play that eventually. And I'm so mad. I got this because it was dirt cheap. And I'm like, oh, it's got a bunch of stickers on it, but that's fine. Usually I'll get a stack of games that have stickers, and then I'll spend an afternoon washing something and just taking all the stickers off and cleaning them up. But I finally got this so I can have a completed box again. It is BlazBlue Chrono Phantasma.
Jesus Christ.
All these stickers are on the fucking cover art. And that was not disclosed when I bought this. So this is just forever stuck on this.
That's some bullshit.
So I'll eventually have to buy this game again. So that way I can get non-horrendously fucked cover art.
Rip.
But yeah, that's all I got. I'm slowing down things until October, and so that way I can save up for a vehicle that's not a clown car.
Yeah, I've been pulling back just a little bit. I still spent a little bit. Also been mailed. I'm not gonna pull it out. I'm way too lazy. I got Advent Children 4K. I don't know why. I'm kind of I'm feeling like I really want to do a FF7 thing this summer.
You should.
Yeah, I'm feeling like this is kind of the moment. I'm not gonna pull it out, but David, have you ever heard of Everywhere at the End of Time?
No.
So Everywhere at the End of Time is a Caretaker album, 6 hours long. It's regarded as arguably the most depressing album ever created. It is their audio interpretation of the 6 stages of dementia. And it's fascinating. They recommend like you listen to this in whole in 6 hours. So I've heard bits and pieces of it. I've like kind of picked it apart. I've even thrown it like in my own class to kind of use, but I've not actually sat through 6 hours. I was waiting because I upgraded my turntable about a month or two ago. And then I was waiting for the album to both they come in they come in 2 sets of 1 through 3, 4 to 6, and they're only available in the UK on this one website. And I was waiting for them to restock both of them. The one was there, and the other one's like, we'll be there in the middle of March. So I bought it. A lot of fucking money. It's expensive as shit. To the point where I ordered it, and like they personally emailed me and said, "Hey, this is a very expensive package. Do you care we FedEx it?" I'm like, "No, that's fine." Right, cool. And then I opened it, and that shit was like a Russian like nesting doll. Like it was like box, box, box. Like it did get to. Like they took care. Like they were like, "This is pricey." I'm probably speaking up. It's not like extraordinary. It's a couple hundred, but that's about it.
I was gonna guess like 200-300.
I think about like 280. And that vinyl, it's gonna. I'll just get it. Oh yeah, I kind of want to show it off. I'm talking about it. Whatever.
All right. While you're doing that, speaking of the title of that does remind me. I did finally get around to watching Everything Everywhere All at Once, and that was an absolutely phenomenal film. Don't know why I dragged my feet so long to watch that, but that was absolutely fantastic. And to Kel's comment, yeah, I think what he's discussing is a box set. And at Mackie, when can we see a movie about Big Dave? Well, I mean, the documentary series I'm working on is slow rolling, but I almost have a few things filmed for it. It's just a matter of finding the time to finish putting it together and then editing and all that stupid shit.
Yo, shouts! I forgot I bought this robe. Best
Hell
robe.
yeah.
This robe's sick. Hell yeah. Okay. Okay. So yeah, it's kind of a box set, and vinyl holds its fucking value. Yeah. I've kind of just like analyzed my collection. I still have a good chunk of albums I spent probably $20 on. They can get 400, 500, 600. There's one I get $700 for. I'd wager that like I don't have I like my game collection destroys my vinyl collection, but like my vinyl collection is a good percentage of the value in my place. Don't tell me twice. My Discog library is dumb, dude. It's ridiculous. Like in a lot because I buy a lot of the IM 8-bit stuff. So like I have Sayonara Wild Hearts like sealed. I heard that shit's like $400 right now. It's expensive. So yeah, like my vinyl stuff goes hard. So I have a random Joey Bass album that's worth $500 I got from Urban Outfitters. Yeah, like some shit like that. The one that sold that like I did last year, Millennium Awake, bought it for $20, $25. I think I found I looked up the receipt, found it $25, $600 sold on Discogs. I want to say this was $280 after the shipping. So he does art too. So like each one has art, like kind of representation of like what you would be seeing. So the first you see some ripples. Next, there's like a vase, right? But it's not quite a vase anymore. You start to see some stuff, an abstract, and then after this, and each LP represents a different stage. And once you get to 5 and 6 is when it gets like horrifying because it's like uh he walked it through and made it he walked it through. I think he worked with a lot of people like kind of to think about what they did, and it'll start with like classical music, like very old timey, like reminiscing the good old days, and then just a steady decline of like you're losing it. Things just don't sound quite right into a haze of just distortion and static and you could hear like a faint remnant of stuff that you can hear from before in the old days. Then you just start to hear like this weird. It's genuinely like terrifying. There's video essays of that online too, and it's intense.
What's it called again?
Everywhere at the End of Time. Highly recommend anyone watch. There's a couple of YouTube video essays I've seen, and both of them I think were good. I saw 2, but I've had this on my list for like a year now. I know. I think it blew up on TikTok recently, like as a challenge.
Yeah.
But I've known about this shit for a while now. But I was like always eyeballing that because much like I feel like if I'm gonna have like that kind of journey, the same with like a book, right? So like that book that I bought, No Longer Human, also the depressing book. I want something physical if it's gonna be that sort of intense. I don't know. Like, I feel like I need a physical media. Like I just don't know if I'd connect me. If I had like headphones on, listening through like Spotify, I wouldn't feel the same way. If I was reading that book through Kindle, I wouldn't feel the same way. There's something just weirdly tactile, especially like this. Imagine like you're building up to that and you have to get up and continue the journey, right? Like you have to get up and flip it. You have to actively continue doing a motion for the journey. In general, like kind of off topic, but it's like there's more meaning to the stuff that you're doing. When you are going to Blockbuster back in the olden day, you're gonna watch that movie. You're making a trip out. You're like, cool. There's 3 movies. You're gonna watch them this weekend. Netflix, yeah, I'll pause and maybe I'll come back to it some other day, right? Like there's less intent behind what you do because you're not actively adding a physicality to it.
Yeah, and I feel like that's also part of what lends certain stories to have the impact they do. Like House of Leaves is still my favorite book of all time, and I feel like a lot of it is because of the weird kinetic component that goes along with it, because it doesn't read like a regular story and it has so many layers to its presentation.
Right. And I want to shout out Kel said I love the back art to make it look at it. So this is the front, all the back look like a canvas. So
Speaking of which, did you know that there
front.
actually was also sorry.
No, you're good. Say again.
Did you know that there also was a CD companion piece to House of Leaves?
No, I did not. That's on my list of things to do eventually. So is House of Leaves a high school potential book?
Yes. There's some mention of substance abuse here and there,
Whatever.
but it's not really bad. It is definitely a good litmus test to see what your students take away from it.
Yeah, I've been wanting to do more abstract texts.
Motherfucker, I know you're in here.
He's talking to Gore right now.
Wait, I think that's it. Right there. So, the album was done by his sister actually, and it's called Haunted. And it basically is a complete companion piece to the book. So it's kind of one of those things that you read the book and then you listen to the album, and they go hand in hand with one another.
Interesting. I love just weird art stuff like that stuff really tickles the loins. But genuinely like I love vinyl. Vinyl is so much fun. It just adds it adds something that, like even CDs didn't really bring to me. It just really like you were going to listen to this. Like there's like a thing to it where I
I
don't know, just
wish I could get into vinyl. Like,
it's
I don't know.
expensive. It's expensive. You don't want to because you don't have enough space to start this shit too. Like I can guarantee you, if you did this, you would fall into it. This is why I didn't do vinyl for so long. I was like, I know as soon as I start, I'm not gonna want to stop. And what you're gonna do is like what I do, which is like, I like that game. I'll buy that vinyl.
Fair.
Kelsey, I'm a cassette nut. I have a ton of vinyl, but way more tapes. Tapes are also fun. I have a few. I still have a few cassette tapes too. They're cool to have. Um, Physical media. Like I know I'm a big digital nut, but like there's a good chunk of just physical media I just like to have. Just like to have something on that. Um, but yeah, I was in terms of other things I bought. I feel like I got something else. I buy some digital shit, not a big deal. Dave, have you bought any of the I don't think you have. You bought any of the catalog games on the Playdate yet?
No, because the only thing that was on catalog that I was interested in was Bloom, and I already have that.
They updated it like a couple days ago, so if you want to check some more
Oh,
stuff.
did they?
Yeah. There's a handful of games. I heard oh Drive something, I forget what it was. It's like an old-timey movie, like it's an old-time movie. Uh the issue, and not I shouldn't say issue. The tough thing to swallow is that a lot of the games are like 10, $15.
Yeah.
5 to 15, I should say. Which is fair, right? You bought what? It's like a $200 handheld,
Yeah.
$15 of a game, whatever. But it's harder to connect. It's harder to connect to me because I still think of the Playdate as a fidget. In fact, that's kind of what it was sold at too, like almost like an adult fidget toy.
Well, that's just it. And a lot of the games still haven't really evolved past that in a sense. So paying basically the equivalent of like a really solid AAA game on Steam is a hard pill to swallow when it gets you a fraction of the content, essentially.
Yeah, and I just don't play it enough for me to warrant that. And if I'm probably gonna grab a couple just because I want to support some developers doing that. I have a game idea. I've not said it. I'll tell you off because I don't want to share. But I have a game idea that I think would be so fucking fun on there, and I'm thinking about it. 'Cause I heard it's really easy to make stuff on there too.
It's not terrible. I tinkered around with it a little bit because I was kind of curious about possibly making a TCG on there. And it's not terrible to get used to. You just have to really be decent at like thinking about how you're gonna pixel everything out.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you an idea, and you're gonna think, why the fuck has it not happened yet? I'm gonna write. Can I put a reminder, something like that? Has Doom imported to it yet?
No,
No.
Doom has not yet been ported yet. Give it time.
I'm gonna put an hour and 30, just an alarm. I don't know what that means. Um, so I want to support the developers in there too. All right. David, what'd you play though?
Hell yeah. So speaking of the Playdate, I spent actually a bit of time playing some Playdate games, getting caught up on that backlog. Again, I've been playing a bit more Inventory Hero. I'm gonna consider
Inventory Hero is
myself
fun.
as having beat that, air quotes. So I don't think I'm gonna do better than my current score. I got it to like level 91. And I feel like I'm just getting to a point where now it's just kind of almost luck based on how much further I'm getting into it.
Sure.
I do like it. It definitely feels like a speed run of what a roguelike is, and I do like the just kind of focus on the inventory management. It definitely feels like you're like plotting 3-4 steps ahead on what the enemies do, preparing for the boss fight, keeping a couple items on hand to re-equip your armor for that. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. I started playing a little bit more of the Wipeout game on there. I finally was starting to get the hang of doing tricks on it. It's still a little bit to get into the rhythm of it. but at least was able to get points. I remember back when I first got the Playdate, I could not get fucking points for the life of me, but now I can at least get a few hundred.
Sure.
So I only feel miserable at it instead of atrocious. What else did I fucking play on that? Oh, I started up the chess RPG. That's a
Okay.
fantastic little fucking game.
It's such a charming
Um,
device, dude. Whenever like there's a cool thing on there, it's just so fun to mess with.
it really is, and just the level of creativity that comes out of it. Like the whole point of the chess RPG. I don't know if you played that one yet, but it's basically kind of a dungeon crawler, but you have to follow the rules of chess. And so you can find different equipable chess pieces and they change your ability of how you can function and move around. And there's kind of different like puzzle solving, there's mystery routes you can go down if you go and do things in a certain order with certain chess pieces. It's really fucking creative. I've gotten stumped on one part that's preventing me from continuing forward in the second world. And it looks like there's like 4 worlds in it. But absolutely fantastic game. It just, again, and I know I say this every time we mention the Playdate, but it's because it genuinely irritates me. The lack of a backlight kills the ability to fucking play the console
Right.
at some level.
Yeah.
Because I hate basically taking a portable device and being hunched underneath a light to even actually be able to play it at nighttime.
Yeah. Here, hold on really quick.
Yeah. Mm. That'd be really fucking sweet.
I mean, sorry, I don't want you guys to steal my ideas. I'm trust you guys are more creative than me, so you guys would also do this faster than I would because I just have ideas. People just do it. David can
Fair enough.
confirm it'd be a cool
Yes.
idea.
It was a sweet idea. I approve. Would help make that if needed.
It would be fun.
But no, so I've really enjoyed getting back into the Playdate again. But it definitely doesn't have a longevity to it. Like you said, it's definitely more of a tinker toy. It's something you fidget with for a little bit, you put away. Um, Aside from that, I've been playing more Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Um, Still an okay game. I don't know. I'm weirdly having a hard time wanting to commit to it in a sense. Like I've
Why?
really
At
been
what
wanting
point?
another long.
At what point when a game is just okay, do you spend time doing that when you're playing a game that you love?
That's the hard part. Is I have such a backlog of things that I want to get through, and I do want to go through this game, but at the same time, like I've started up so many games lately that I feel a little guilty if I don't commit to finishing one of the ones I've started up. And Dragon Ball Z Kakarot's only like, I don't know, 18 hours or something like that. So
Okay,
I
so you'll be
feel
done by
like
next week.
I could be if I actually really sat and played it.
Sure.
It's just I play it for like 20 minutes and then I'm done. Combination of just work things, like even right now during the podcast, I'm doing server maintenance.
Hell yeah.
Uh, Hell yeah. But it's kind of one of those things where it's like I don't know, just nothing has been grabbing me. I started the year off strong. I played through Persona 5 Royal again. And I didn't get it 100%. I'm missing like 2 of the achievements, but it's just because I didn't want to do the mini games for them.
Sure.
I could go back and get them if I wanted. And I did the 2 dancing games, and then I started up Persona 4 Golden, so I could get some footage for that. And it's just one of those things that I just nothing is really gripping me right now, and it sucks because like I have Octopath Traveler 2, and I was so excited for that. I really wanted to
I
sink
forgot
my
that
teeth
came
into
out.
that. Exactly, and I adored the first game. I think the first game is a genuine treasure. Um, and now I'm just like, yeah, I'll get to that eventually. And that's basically every game I have purchased this year is like, yeah, I'm gonna get to that eventually, but I've yet to have that like, I really need to play it. And like fucking even from last year, like I still need to pick up Ragnarok. I
I
know
still
I'm gonna
haven't
love
played
it as soon as
that.
I play it,
Yeah, I
but
still haven't. I kind of stopped after about an hour or two. Nothing bad about that, but I wasn't in the mood. What was it? I lost my train of thought. I'm so tired.
I hear ya.
With why do I feel like Persona was where I was trying to go with this for a second, but I could be wrong.
Was it because of the potential leaks that happened, or
No,
was it because you were thinking
nah,
of replaying
fuck it,
5 or
nah.
Strikers finally?
Oh, Kel said, did you see leaked footage for Persona 3 Remake and Jet Set? Excuse me?
Yeah, that's what I was alluding to.
No, excuse me.
So it hasn't been confirmed, but yeah, it looks like there was leaked footage of a Persona 3 remake.
Word. I don't give a shit. Like, uh, those are
Yeah,
two
usually
things.
it's Chris that doesn't care for leaks or anything.
There's something that I care for, but I mean I ultimately don't really give a shit. Where's this at?
Let me see if I can find the exact thing. So it was part of a investors meeting leak.
Oh, that account got taken down. We did it? Um, yeah, you'll have to walk me through this because I think I'm just tired.
I mean, it's basically like a quick little snippet of footage, which is wild because I just saw someone that has like an hour and a half long fucking video on it, and I don't know how the fuck you have an hour and a half long video on something that was like a few seconds long. But basically, it was footage of Yukari, one of the main characters from Persona 3, firing off her arrow in a battle, and that was basically just it.
If you can find me that, that'd be sick. Uh, yeah,
Oh, here we go. I found it. Copy video
there was another game
URL.
confirmed as well.
There you go. I just sent it to you
On Discord.
on the Facebook.
Let's see. Oh, 0%. That's fake. Yo, someone would have to do so much fucking shit to do that. What the fuck?
So the question
Yo,
is going to
Jet
ultimately.
Set. Fuck yeah. Hell yeah.
So on the Persona side, the question ultimately becomes how they do the remake. If they decide to go ahead and actually integrate FES and Persona 3 Portable together, so that way we actually have a complete version that'll give us all the FES content, including the answer, and we also get female protagonist route, or if it's just going to be FES remade, or maybe even potentially just Persona 3 Portable remade.
No,
But I feel like just doing Persona 3 Portable remade would make sense when they just did the remaster.
I disagree. I think that's the reason why they have this. They put out FES portable, or they put out Persona 3 portable, and then this remakes the beat, but this is the one with everything in it. So this is what's gonna make you want to play the portable and still want to play this.
I would like if they combined everything into one master game, especially because that is the shitty thing with playing Persona 3 right now is if you play Persona 3 Portable, you only get like half the content. You get unique, interesting bits of the story because of it, but at the end of the day, you're still only getting half the story.
I think that do they have a history with remakes?
Atlas remakes shit all the fucking time.
And what do they do with those?
Depends. Usually it's always just to add more content.
Yeah, so I think we're good. I think they'll go about it the right way. That's sick. I'm down. Are you worried that's gonna be too Persona 5ified?
No, I think it'd serve it better. I didn't like Persona 3 when it came out, so I never
Yeah,
finished 3 and I never finished 4. When Persona 3 came out, I was a Persona 1 and 2 duology person, so I was like, oh god, what's this school life sim bullshit? What the fuck is this day cycle and having to do a school life and do a dungeon dive? What do you mean I have to bounce out all these stats to make people fucking like me and all this stupid bullshit? So I really hated it. Persona 5 was the first time I actually liked the formula, so I would
sure.
actually much rather see it Persona 5ified, especially considering in Persona 3, if you don't keep up manually revisiting all your social links, you'll lose social link ranks. So you have to actually keep spending days just visiting your social links in order to maintain your social link with them.
Kels asked, real question is, will it keep the Persona release?
Keep the Persona release. Oh, I imagine what he's talking about is the gunshots. Yeah, probably. I don't see why they wouldn't. It's an M-rated game.
Yeah, I think they've well,
It was a wild controversy at the time because whoo, but let's be honest, we're living in a world where that's fucking tame now. It's kind of quaint.
yeah, I can go either way, but I hope they don't. I think they'll be fine with it. That's sick. I still didn't ever come back to where I thought I was going to with that, but that's fine. Um, hey, anyone out there has a good lead on a new 3DS used XL? Please let me know, because good lord, I don't like having to look for one. This is bullshit. God damn it! I should just fucking buy it. I remember that I said that from last week. This is dumb as fuck. I hate it. In fact, I'm gonna look right now. Let's see. I think it's still one of those things that could get weird. I'm all for the authentic experience though. I could see why it would be weird. I hope they don't. They when they do their live shows, they still react it, like recreate it, like on stage too, like the way they dance. So I think they're gonna do it. Um,
What I hope for is one, we get the obvious thing of they combined the two games together, and we do get all the way through all the FES content while also having a female route through the FES content. And I hope that we do get some Persona 5 additions to it. One of the immediate things that come to mind is I really wish we get actual demons being the shadows. I really hate the kind of generic, like, yeah, it's a fucking shadow, and then eventually you can capture and get personas through that means. I want it to be the actual fucking demon going about and fighting the actual demons. I hate the generic enemy. It takes me out of it a little bit. Um, would like to see more remixed music. Persona 3 had, I'll say it, some of the weakest music. Persona 4 is where it really started to get good, and Persona 5 is an absolute banger fucking soundtrack all around. So I would like to see some more updates to the Persona 3 soundtrack. Really, Persona 3 only had like 2 or 3 good songs, I'll say it. Aside from that, I don't know what other major things I would want to see.
that's fair. Um, do you think this is their stopgap to Persona 6?
Oh, 100%. We know Persona 6 is going to happen. This is Atlus's, I think it's the 30th anniversary for SMT franchise as a whole. And considering Persona 25th went without a whole lot of fanfare, I feel like it's because they were saving it just to do it all in one big go with the 30th is what I'm going to hope for. And I think we'll see one mentions. I think this year is going to be the big year of re-releases. I imagine this is also going to be the year that we'll get SMT 5 on PC and PlayStation 5 and
Wait, when do you
4.
think we're getting Persona
Uh,
3?
I think that would be, I mean, on Atlas time, probably in 2 years. But with Sega at the helm and running a tighter ship, I could see them trying to do a early next year release. Because I don't think they would do it at the end of the year and go against 7 Remake Part 2. I don't think they would try that.
No.
So I think at the earliest we would see it is probably like spring next year.
Okay.
But I think it would be announced and then get a lot of announcements of announcements to build up to it this year, as Atlas likes to do.
That's fair.
And
No, keep going.
no, and then like I said, I imagine we'll get Shin Megami Tensei 5 coming to other platforms. Honestly, I could even see them kind of continuing their interesting relationship with Microsoft, and that could even be another thing that's like, yeah, day one Game Pass, here you go, bam, Shin Megami Tensei 5. Then oh yeah, and it's coming to the other platforms too. Why not? And there's been a lot of teases of older SMT stuff coming to the works. The original author of the books has even teased that he's trying to get the original books brought into English for the first time. So I think that Atlas might try to go ahead and even do something with that of like, oh well, seems how we're getting the novels into English. Let's put the original Megami Tensei games out into English again. For the first time officially, rather, and do something like that to really kind of celebrate the anniversary of the franchise.
Cal said, I can't wait to play SMT at above 15 frames per second.
Yeah, SMT5 at any playable frame rate would be nice. I really enjoyed my time going through it, and I gave it a higher score on my Game of the Year list that year just because, as much as I love Nocturne, it did feel a little wrong to put it one step higher, an actual new game over a remaster of a game.
Sure.
But at the same time, like, that was a rough experience. It was fun. I enjoyed
You think I should just wait?
and yeah, I'd at least give it until maybe the
I'm
end
not in
of
a
summer.
rush.
And yeah,
In fact, if
if
anything,
you're not in a, huh?
I was gonna say, if anything, I upgraded my 3DS SD card, so I got a 128 gig and just loaded up all the games I bought. I'm probably gonna mod it. I think I saw one of my friends with the modded 3DS. I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna fucking do it. I would prefer a new 3DS to do that, but I'm probably just gonna do that.
I mean, if you're gonna mod it, you may as well just rip the game at that point and then go ahead and play the game on an emulator. It'll run so much better.
What I was gonna say was I have all the SMT stuff on 3DS. Where do I start? I've asked this question like a year or two ago. This is the summer here. I'm gonna tease you with information I can promise you I'm not gonna follow up on, but I'll tease you with it just on the off chance it maybe does. Depending on my summer, this is my first summer where I'm either gonna fucking pass out in a coma and not do fuck all, or I might travel, or I might do a little hybrid and like travel a little bit, but also just play a fuck ton of video games, and start catching up on my shit. I am open to FF14 this summer.
Ooh, all right.
I'm open to the idea, but like I said, I want to do FF7. But also, yeah, and come back to it. I do want to also start. I want to knock out some hefty big boys this summer.
So when it comes to,
Cal has also said, good question. I want this one too, since they're almost done with Persona 5 Royal.
All right. So I think it kind of comes down to what type of game you want to play and whether you want to focus on mainline or explore more of the side Megami Tensei.
What if I want? Let's say I'm just like on the. I want to go balls deep. I'm gonna go through the whole franchise. Let's just pretend we're gonna like. You know me, where I don't like starting from a step that's too high because I don't like going back.
The problem is that Megami Tensei doesn't work that way. There's no like going forward and backwards unless you're talking about like the SNES games. Then those are like genuinely a regression. But every game does similar, but kind of entirely different things on some level. They all have like a core baseline that it's like, yeah, well, if I played one, I get a rough idea of how to play the other, but there's not a lot of one-to-one translation in the same sense.
Okay.
So I would say that if you want something that would be a good option to kind of dip your toes into it and give you something that serves as a familiar kind of playground, I would say the Devil Survivor games are a good way for you perhaps to get into it a little bit more. And the reason I say that is they're basically Shin Megami Tensei Fire Emblem.
Okay.
And where you do like yourself some Fire Emblem, that could be a good gateway for the 3DS games.
What if, or what would I be getting if I got into Soul Hackers?
Soul Hackers is interesting because it's something you appreciate more if you know a lot about the other Devil Summoner games.
Okay, so that's cut.
Yeah. So
And
I would
what?
say if you're, oh, go ahead.
No, go for it. You're good.
So just to kind of lay it all out in one go here.
What do I avoid? Can we do that? What do I just don't touch?
I would say hold off on Soul Hackers until you decided you're balls deep in the series, because there is a lot you're gonna miss out on Soul Hackers if you're not into like the deeper lore of the franchise.
And what's this Strange Journey
game.
shit?
Strange Journey is one of the mainline SMT games.
Okay.
It's technically the fifth one, I think. Yeah, it's the fifth mainline game. Strange Journey is really fascinating because it's one of the ones that kind of got easier in a sense because of its remake. Because Strange Journey Redux is a remake from the original DS version, and they added in a lot of quality of life features. Depending on who you ask, it's made the game a lot fucking easier. To me, I just think it simply makes the game more enjoyable. Because there are some things in SMT games that are just fucking stupid, such as mapping and teleport traps and other heinous shit that just waste your time. And it kind of helps to mitigate a lot of that shit that just wastes your time. Strange Journey is kind of a man versus nature kind of story. Because the thing with mainline is they all kind of have the same idea of like it is one person, maybe they have like a couple other people, and it is their alignment journey in an apocalyptic world. Um, Strange Journey is basically you're playing a Marine. You are the most competent coming out of the gate to any SMT protagonist before. Of you're already a competent soldier man going into things, but everything's flipped on its head. Really interesting presentation. For fans of the franchise, the Redux especially was a bit of a moment because a lot of people don't like the change to the art style. For you, it's not going to make a difference. But it's an interesting story. I think if you're going to go into actual mainline experience for the 3DS, I think honestly starting with 4 and then eventually going to Strange Journey is the way to go. I feel that 4 has a far more cohesive narrative and it provides a more interesting experience. Uh, it's hard to explain some of this stuff without going into massive spoilers
So,
too.
I
But go ahead.
I kind of wanted to cut off because I don't want to know anymore. But last like small detail. What's the difference between 4 and 4 Apocalypse?
4 Apocalypse is a quasi sequel. It takes place after one specific ending option that happens in 4.
Some Drakengard shit.
Yes, essentially. And this is honestly the other reason why I'll say that you probably should start with 4 if you're doing like balls deep into mainline proper, is because 4 and 4 Apocalypse, if you play them back to back, especially with the DLC that's in 4 Apocalypse, Messiahs of the Diamond Realm especially, that is going to give you a metric fuck ton of the greater lore of Megami Tensei as a whole.
So I got a mod that 3DS then because I didn't buy any DLC. So, but
Yeah.
hey, make it fucking available for me to buy, and I'll buy it. Like, come on. Real talk.
Yeah.
Would buy if available.
I mean, that's one of the other things that has been murmured is that there's potentially as part of this 30th anniversary stuff that was kind of like how we had the video Shield leaks a while back. There was like a leak even further back that talked about some of Atlus's plans. It kind of makes me wonder if it's confirmed now because of the Persona 3 remake reveal.
What'd they say?
But
Was
one
it
of the other
like
things was a 4 and 4 Apocalypse combo pack for Switch.
that'd be cool?
Be great.
So with that said, then, so in theory, I should go for Devil Summoner then because there's a potential that that will come to Switch.
Yes.
Okay.
And again, where they play a lot like Fire Emblem, I feel like they would be the easier transition for you.
All right. So we're sold on that.
So yeah, go Devil Summoner, not Devil Survivor rather. Go Devil Survivor, Overclocked, and whatever the fuck can't remember what the second one is called. And then if you're done those and you still want more, do 4, then 4 Apocalypse, then do Strange Journey Redux at that point, and then if you're really still craving more 3DS SMT, I would recommend reading a wiki on the original Devil's Summoner, and then I'd say just play the Ride of Kuzunoa games.
At that point, then you're
at
gonna
least
give me
read
all the
wiki,
back,
yeah.
all the hidden shit.
Yeah.
All right. Well, cool. David. The opposite of a leak is a delay. I don't know.
That's true.
We got a nice old Suicide Squad delay till next year. Game doesn't look interesting.
No.
So
And they're
good
still
call.
committed to the live service model, which
I don't think you could take it
don't
out
fucking
now
know.
at this point. I don't know if there's a way you could just undo all that shit at that point. Maybe they will, but I don't.
I mean, maybe that's why it keeps getting delayed. They keep saying, "Oh no, it's too." But I mean, with how much they keep delaying it, how much more polish could it really need?
You know, because I don't think the delay date holds. I could see it being fall of next year and removed with all that, but we need more than 9 months, I think. Yeah, not much to say about that except rip.
Fucking cancel it at this point. Who cares? Like, real talk. Who's still excited for this game?
Not me. Zelda, you didn't watch.
No, I know I'm not gonna play it anytime in the. I still haven't even finished the first game.
I haven't finished the
got
first
10
one,
hours
and I'm thinking at
into
this point, I might just start it over. I don't know if I want to start over and if I'll be all Zelda'd out by the time it comes out, or if I'm gonna be all in. But I don't feel like if I just complete the game now, I'll feel like I've really beaten it because it's literally been what? How old's the Switch? It'll be 6 years in the making.
6-7 years.
Yeah, so I'm not sure. I might just replay it. But trailer looked great. I still don't know how that game's gonna run well.
It won't.
I don't think so, but I mean, it looks so far fine. Zelda trailer gave me goosebumps. I think you'd be all Zelda out. To be honest, I was playing it after the first time. Yeah, or I was burnt out after just playing the first time. Yeah, that's what I felt. I don't know. I'm also in the mood for Zelda right now, and it's been so long since I played. I don't know. I'm gonna think about it.
See, I think that's part of my problem is I still don't think of Breath of the Wild as Zelda. Like, I get that
I can
on some
understand that.
level, I feel like it's the natural evolution of like the original Zelda, of just like for its time, the big open world, not really giving you any direction, just I don't know, go fucking explore, find shit. I get that in that sense, it truly feels like a return to form for Zelda, but I feel like at that point it's way too much of a return to form. I still think of, the more streamlined, not hand-holdy, but like here's a specific quest and journey. We're gonna go on it. It may be grand in scale, but there's a specific point A, point B. Here you go. You've saved the princess, you saved the kingdom. Maybe some weird, creepy shit happen along the way. Enjoy
Sure.
your stay.
Yeah, I can see that. With that said, though, the trailer was so great. Big shout outs. I think Nintendo knows not to put a fucked up Zelda. And I'm sure it's not gonna run perfectly, but if it holds up even like 90% well, good shit. I'm doing that thing that I do with video games now, though, where I'm not gonna dive like I'm not gonna watch the thing a billion times over and stuff like that because I just really want to just loved it, watched it maybe once, twice, loved it. Now I'm ready to play it. So whenever it comes out, it comes out. And then you didn't really watch the FF16.
I skimmed through it, just because again, I didn't see too much of a point of watching it just when I'm gonna, be playing it when it comes out, because that one I am very excited for and I do want to hop in when it comes out. It looks fucking great. I mean, the combat looks like fucking Devil May Cry. We get big fucking kaiju fights. Yeah, it's what I expected from how they've described it. Not disappointed. Don't
That's
really
fair.
need to see more. Like, yep, you've shown me fantastic combat. You've shown me a fantastic way the summons are going to work. Now that I know the gameplay's solid, all that matters is how the story is.
Fair enough.
Still has a really shitty explanation for why they didn't put other ethnicities in the game, but
Shout outs.
it is what it is, I guess.
Hey, dude, I'm gonna be honest. I'm tired.
Hell yeah!
It's
Should we
been
just call
a
it here then?
yeah, it's been a long week. I feel like I'm gonna look real quick though. I know we missed some stuff. Did you see stuff Faraz said about on Twitter about Tekken 8, David?
Yeah, crossplay. Let's go.
Oh, nice.
Also he threw basically Sony and Microsoft under the bus. He's like, yeah, I wanted to do it before, but both companies were slap fighting each other, so I really couldn't.
Shout outs. Bum, 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 bum.
And there's been like 8 more companies that have finally given Microsoft the thumbs up on the acquisition for EA. There, not EA.
Yeah, it's happening.
Yeah.
What is this actually? I'm curious. A Portal writer wants to make Portal 3, but Valve's flat structure makes it a challenge. More people have Valve to get. Okay, so I want to read this. This is from PC Gamer. Valve's allergies to number 3 continues. While the desire for a third Portal game might not be as powerful as the hunger for Half-Life 3 or even just Episode 3, the mind-bending puzzles series continues to have plenty of fans eager to see it continue, including Portal writer Eric Wolpaw. Unfortunately, the likelihood of another sequel remains hard to gauge. Wolpaw has advocated for Portal 3 before, hoping to inspire action in the company, to which he returned as a part-time contributor back in 2019 after a stint in Double Fine. In December, he even revealed that he had a starting point for Portal 3, but this didn't mean that Valve had committed to developing it. 4 months on, seems like nothing much has changed. In an interview with Simon Parkin on the My Perfect Console podcast, Wolpaw explained difficulties in getting sequels off the ground. In a flat structure like Valve, there's an opportunity and cost to doing anything. Whatever's going on at Valve right now requires the dedication and participation of the people working on it, and it's voluntary. So there needs to be enough people at Valve willing to work on Portal 3. But in the meantime, Wolpaw is going to keep pushing for it and jokingly giving Valve a hard time. The people who could have distributed by internally and understand that it's me joking around, he added. Let's see. Valve is not a giant company. I think people think that is because of the outsized influence of Steam, but it's really not that many people. It takes manpower to keep Dota going. It takes manpower to keep CSGO going. And the freeform nature of Valve means there are a lot of experiments that simply fail. So things are happening. If you were inside Valve, you would think this stuff was always going on, because it is. Valve can busy, launch a Steam Deck, development of Counter-Strike 2, and the Steam itself, which remains an important piece of software. As much as the things I enjoyed working on Valve and my time at Valve, it's important to me. If I had to choose between Valve games and Steam, which I feel is the most democratizing technology to ever come out to allow people to create games, game careers, to actually make games and get them in front of people, I guess I would choose Steam, said Wolpaw. So there's always gonna be attention, or there's always things competing for attention in Valve. It's a manpower problem. You have to pick what you're going to work on, and time is limited. Thoughts?
How about just hire more people? It's fucking Valve.
Oh, Redfall. That was the thing that I want to talk about too. You're right. Yeah.
It's fun. They literally print money right now, and especially after the wild success that is the Steam Deck. Like, I get it. They keep a tight ship, so to speak, and I imagine it's for many reasons. One, to of course, obviously keep increased profit margins, but two, I'm sure based on a lot of the interviews we've had from Valve over the years, I get the impression it's because they do genuinely take care of their folks. You know, but at the same time, it sounds like they're taken care of in every way, but in terms of their creative outlets, which
The
is
way I
weird to
took
think.
that, the way I took that was that everyone's overly creative, but because of that, everyone's almost competitively creative. Therefore, it's like my idea, I want more than your idea, so I want to put energy behind my idea. Therefore, none of us ours gets through because we're competing. That sucks. I get it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And Valve can never do a game again. They'll be fine. I'm still kind of surprised how like Alex even happened, but I don't know, man. I feel like Portal 3 and then just like slapping Steam Deck on it or something like that. A Steam Deck does sound shitty. Think of that Steam Desk Job game, Amateur
Yep.
Desk Job. Think of a Portal game that just utilized everything on the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
And they got away with it with Half-Life Alex. And they eventually, and I think recently just took off the need for a headset with it now. But making like a very Steam Deck oriented Portal 3 would be really cool, I think.
Agreed. And honestly, it's kind of one of those things where, yeah, not every idea of Valve's works. I mean, we saw that with that shitty card game they did. But like,
What was it called again?
I don't even remember.
Start with an
honestly.
A, I thought. Architect?
Maybe.
I think it was Architect.
Maybe. I don't know. I genuinely can't remember. But it's kind of one of those things that, like, I get it. They're basically a storefront now, but they still hold some of the most beloved IPs for, the non-big three, we'll say. Team Fortress, Half-Life, Portal, fucking, I suppose technically we are getting a new Counter-Strike game here finally, but it's kind of one of those things that it's wild they don't do more. Like, how have we not had a Team Fortress 3 by this point? Or how have we not had at least, even wilder, is like, how have we not had these games at least put on modern devices? You would think that you would at least get like a current gen version. I mean, we did even see that a little bit with Portal RTX, and I did tinker with that, and yeah, I had fun with it. But I mean, how is it we're not at least getting like, all right, cool, now that we're on like the PS5 and the Xbox, here's all of our games that we've had going with brand new console ports and brand new console versions at least.
Right.
The only console versions that exist for the majority of their games is on the 360 and the PS3 still.
Right. Even just remastering them at this point, I'm like, fuck it. Do it.
Yeah, fuck it. I would love that, especially for, honestly, Team Fortress 2 is the best example of what I would love to see have a remaster, and go what fucking Blizzard did with WoW. Give us a classic server and a modern server. The classic server that is the vanilla TF2 experience, and then the modern one where you can have all your hats and different weapons and all the other changes they made to the game over the years. But I would love the idea of just still having a consistent vanilla experience.
Shout out to the 360.
Hell yeah.
Let's wrap this up. Redfall. Hey, Xbox, get your shit together. That's ridiculous. Do not delay that shit. Do not put Redfall out at 30 frames.
No, it's fine. People are still okay with for 30 frames, right?
Do not do that.
People still want that.
That's ridiculous.
People want always online DRM, and they want 30 frames.
And Becky asked, "The fuck is this?" That's the huddle, like that little that big fleshy thing I got back there, but with a face on it, looking all happy.
Yeah, go check out our old Games Gone By game episode on that.
Yeah. Also,
You
look.
know what? Maybe with your
Also
support,
watch me
chat,
gape it.
Yeah, it gets all up in its guts.
And it looks like a happy gore, says that Becky. Yeah, dude, I don't know what to say about Redfall. Internet kind of said it. Don't release that shit. That's ridiculous. 30 frames per second. This gen, don't do that. Delay it.
Fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna be yawning on y'all, so I'm gonna kind of wrap the podcast up. We're almost like 1 hour, about an hour and a half. Makes me scared for Starfield. I think Starfield's gonna be fine. I don't want to associate too much of two teams opposite end, but also I expect Starfield to be
two different development studios. So
I also expect Starfield to be glitchy just because Bethesda.
And I was gonna say it's still being built off the same engine they've used for the last 13 fucking years. So yeah, it's gonna still be a fucking shit show of a game. I have no interest in it, genuinely. I don't fucking care. Wake me up when you finally have a new goddamn game engine.
Kelsey, get some rest, my dude. I plan to. I'm probably gonna go to bed, which is shocking.
Hell yeah.
I've been trying to kill that insomnia that I built up here. Kelsey, I feel like Microsoft accepted it was ready to ship at 30 frames. So what will they accept that? I want to say this backlash may make them rethink Redfall. It might be too late, but I feel like it's gonna make them think differently again. You can't. This was terrible. This was shit. This was a big game that was not seen as great, and then got really good press recently. Like, hey, this is actually really good, and then just took a downfall again. You need to do 60.
Be better.
Be the best you can. Shout outs. But yeah, we're gonna head out. An hour and a half. That wasn't bad.
No.
Hey, spam gore with hearts and hell yeahs. He needs the memes. And we'll come back. Hey, if there's I'm gonna throw this out there. If you follow me on Twitter at Depunked, if there's anyone that you listen to on podcasts that you like guests doing this, shoot them at me and I'll talk to them. I've been thinking about rotating some guests in. I've been kind of eyeballing people that I kind of want to message, see how that goes. But
weren't we talking at one point about getting the Salt and Sanctuary dude on?
That was so fucking long ago. that was eons ago. I still follow him. I think he still follows me. I'll message him sometime. Abag says, David, give a dab for Gore. There we go. All right, y'all. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate y'all. The end is nigh for me, meaning I'll stream. That's a good thing. Gotta bring Neo back for a follow-up. Yeah. I want to bring Neo back to have David and Neo have a PTSD about that 5-hour DSP interview, and we'll just have a whole spoiler cast on it. That'd be great.
You know what? Start sending comments to Neo. Just keep spamming all of his videos with hell yeah, and convince him he wants to be the new permanent guest.
The new Gore.
The new Gore.
And then we'll see. And then someone spam Boogie 2988 and say you want him to be the new David.
Hell yeah.
And
be sure to just send him all kinds of hell yes.
And then spam DSP and say you want him to be the new Adrian. And then you'll get banned.
Get DSP on, would you do it?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone start messaging DSP. See if he'll come on. Let him know that he's got a warm welcome.
Tell him I'll give a good interview.
Tell him I'll give 10 whole doll hairs.
Tell him I'll give a fair and satisfying interview.
We won't even bring up the WWE game. We'll give it to him in writing. We won't bring it up at all.
Yeah, I'm it's Pedro Pascal playing me. Hell yeah. I'm very much like DSP. Give me money. I didn't earn enough tips. Where are those? I need to pay my bills. My cat needs to eat. Someone pay me. Shout outs. All right. Hey, thanks y'all. But yeah, shoot me anyone that you guys think would be interesting to have on. I'll talk to them and we'll see how that goes. Have a good night, y'all.
Yeah.